that?
A jingle.
A jingle?
Yeah. Just
Everybody, welcome back to another Dad React video this week. Back, Martin. We haven't done a live podcast this year, to be honest.
I know. I don't really know why.
Why indeed?
Just been busy.
You good, okay, mate? You good?
All good. It's Friday.
Well, look, in this video, us dads are going to be reacting to the news of Russia still threatening World War III.
Fuck off, Russia!
The US abortion ruling to, well, get rid of abortion, I guess.
Fuck you, Russia!
And the Taliban are back, cap in hand.
Fuck you, Russia!
I caught you out with that.
What was that?
Yeah, how you doing, mate? You good? Yeah, so everyone, in this video, we're going to see how us dads react to some of the pretty big news stories that's going on at the moment. Like I said, we've got some reactions from Russia threatening to bomb London. Bothered. US, the big news out of the US with the abortion ruling change and the Taliban. If you are new to the channel, do please hit that like and subscribe button.
Tell your friends, get them, just subscribe. Why would it?
We'll change it. Look, so the main YouTube channel, like you said just before, Martin, that's got 5,000 subscribers now, but it's a slightly different audience for this sort of nonsense gibberish. So we've gone. This is a brand new channel that we're speaking to people on.
So you know, get over here, like both channels.
Mm.
You know, let's give us some love.
Love.
So, which excitingly risky topic are we going to start with today?
Well, I've got a question for you, actually, Martin. So, if you brought a house, right, with an ex, and you may have not done this, if you brought a house with an ex,
yeah,
her ex-boyfriend comes back on the scene, right, kicks you out, beheads the dog, then 2 years later runs into
the dog or an actual dog,
either or.
Okay,
runs into a bit of trouble.
Not so much.
Runs into a bit of trouble, then comes back asking for you for help. What do you do?
I would drop kick him in the face and say, "Go fuck yourself, my son."
Well, it's funny because that's exactly where we are today with the Taliban. These motherfuckers are back, cap in hand, asking for, that's right, humanitarian aid after a 6.1 gig, whatever it is, magnitude earthquake hit Afghanistan on Wednesday. Killing 1,000 people, which is obviously horrendous. But the UN has pledged $1 billion already to the extremist state. Like, where do you sit on that?
See, I'm all for helping people. You know, 1,000 people dying is 1,000 people dying that shouldn't die. You know, it's sad news. It's a fucking Taliban, bro. Like, the Taliban yes, the boys are back in town. The Taliban didn't give a fuck when they were dropping the Twin Towers. Didn't give a fuck when they were killing, you know, death to the West. No, is it
Al Qaeda? Won it? Al Qaeda did the.
Oh yeah, well.
Al Qaeda did 9/11. Wasn't the Taliban? But I get your point.
Yeah, like the Taliban don't like us.
I'm confused. Are we friends? Or are we not friends with the Taliban? It seems a little bit like the relationship between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. It's pretty toxic.
They're thinking, are these guys on the Amber, like following the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, like thinking, about, you know,
isn't it, Rich? Like, you know, chopping people, beheading people, death to the West, all that sort of stuff, and then run into a bit of trouble. It's like, actually,
can you help us?
Can you please help?
No. You cut your ties. You completely cut them.
Mm-hmm.
Go fuck yourselves.
Is that your official stance? Go fuck yourself.
Literally, go fuck yourselves. Go fend for yourselves. You've burnt the bridges. The bridges are burnt well and truly. Like, why would we help them? Because once they get back on their feet, is it going to be like, back to death to the West, or the West?
Probably.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to go back to not hating us.
It's like your ex cheating on you, and she going, "I'm really sorry. Please take me back. It'll never happen again." You take her back.
Yeah, she's in
next week. She's sucking off the postie.
Yeah, I mean, does this just make the UN a bunch of snowflakes?
I saw that the US had pledged an extra $340 million to help support. I suppose there's one way to look at it, isn't there? There's one way you look at it and you go, the people of Afghanistan, that's who we were there to support.
Yeah.
When we were there occupying the land, essentially it was there to help support and help flourish the people that were living there. So ultimately, these are the people that are struggling the most. So do you separate the Taliban and the people of Afghanistan?
Pizza repeating on you there, buddy.
Sorry, what?
Pizza repeating on you there, buddy.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Can you separate the two?
See, that's the hard part. That's the problem. Is there are innocent victims in this. I don't think you can you? It's like your ex cheating on you, but she's got kids.
So you got to take her back.
Do you take her back because of the kids? Or do you go off you two, or go and fend for yourselves?
Well, a lot of people would take it back.
Yeah. Collateral damage, Well, mate, let's put it in your situation. Carly, she cheats on you.
See ya.
And then she comes calling back and says, "I'm sorry, dude. Like, I fucked up."
I'll be like, "Sorry, who is this?"
Yeah. I deleted your number. Bye.
Yeah.
It's there's always, no matter what, there's always collateral damage. There's always innocent parties to play in it. But at the end of the day, they burnt the bridges.
Yeah. I completely agree. It's a
yeah. It's sad, and it is sad.
We've been fighting against these people for 40 odd years, killing each other. They've had no trouble, like I say, killing. They're asking for humanitarian aid, but would behead people that went to give them humanitarian aid years ago.
Yeah, we came over there to help you. We went over there to help you, and you kicked up. But now you want us to help you because you're in the shit. It's not how it works. You can't pick and choose like that.
Mate, I agree. So are we helping the Taliban, yay or nay?
No. But again, like we always say, you're wrong. Opinion's wrong.
Death to the Middle East.
Are we wrong? People in the comments, I don't probably nobody watching this, but at some point somebody may watch it. Let us know what you think. Are we wrong? Are we not? Are we a bit too harsh? Is our thought process wrong? You just don't know. But in my opinion, no. I think after they've burnt the bridges, it's done. How many soldiers died?
Yeah,
innocently. But then on the flip side, how many innocents died there? So it's just you can't come crawling back with your tail between your legs.
No,
knowing full well that the likelihood is afterwards, it's just back to where you were before.
Well, they didn't need our help when they chased us out of town 2 years ago or whenever it was, or last year, whenever. So sort of hard to feel a little bit of sympathy now.
It's hard. It's not easy to give any sympathy.
Cool. Right. Well, look, we're going to jump.
Drop it. Give me a little look, so I know when that's coming in.
Look, we're gonna jump straight in here and talk about something that's really polarizing opinion at the moment, and that's abortion. Now,
that's always a hot topic and a difficult conversation to have. And in our position, we don't have uteruses, so it's a difficult subject to talk about as well.
How do you know what I identify as? Have I told you that I identify as a man?
Fair, I have seen you in the shower. You pretty much have a uterus. I haven't seen you in the shower at all. But yeah, the US, man.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I guess. Well, the news is today the US Supreme Court overturned the Roe versus Wade ruling, changing the US Constitution to allow individual states to ban abortions. And now they expect that pretty much straight away 21 of the states will automatically put a ban out.
How many states are there?
52, I think.
Oh God, that's what I was thinking. How many states?
Yeah, 52, I think. Maybe some others. 52.
So just under 50% straight away. The ban. Do you know what? I saw a post today from Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah.
Where they turned around and said to all their employees that if any of their employees want to have an abortion and they live in a state that is banning it, they will give they will pay $4,000.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So I suppose to qualify it, like you said, we are two blokes talking about abortion. So not that anyone cares about our opinion, but here it is anyway. I did see. So somebody said this isn't a ban on abortion for rich people. It's a ban on an abortion for poor people, because if you are wealthy enough to be able to go across state, then to a state that does have abortion, then you can have an abortion. Now, like I said, we're two cisgendered men. Is that right?
So
yeah, we're two blokes. So I have spoken to an expert today on abortion, so we're going to go over to him in a second with a little clip. So I have asked the question: should abortion be legal, yes or no? And here's what the expert said. What do you think about abortion? Do you think it should be allowed or banned?
What did you say?
What do you think about abortion? Do you think abortion should be allowed or not allowed? Tricky one, eh?
Huh?
Tricky question.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? Allowed or not allowed?
Yes, allowed.
Allowed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you have it. There we go. Expert has spoken.
Unless I just the way he's just sitting there going, I haven't got a fucking clue what you're on about, Dad. Let's talk about where we stand first on abortions.
Sure.
Let's put it out there. What's your opinion?
I don't agree with abortion. I'm coming from I guess a similar place to where the Americans come at it from, right? So a religious philosophy. So you believe all life is sacred, so therefore you shouldn't abort a life. So that's sort of where I come at it from. I suppose that's my position on it. But also, my position on it is the same as it is on religion. So whilst I do believe in God and I have my own, faith, I don't push that on anyone else. I don't force anybody else to believe what I want to believe. So yes, whilst I don't believe in abortion, I think it's wrong. I think it's, in fact, let's put it right, I think it's disgusting. But I wouldn't be against somebody having one if that's what they wanted to. If they want an abortion, let them have an abortion.
Whereas for me, I'm not religious, and for me, it's circumstantial. It's a case by case. Somebody goes and gets raped and fall pregnant, I totally back. That's a hard thing to raise a child that's born. If the child has serious potential disability.
But how do you police that? So, like, let's just say abortion's illegal. Let's say abortion's illegal, right? And it's only legal for if you've been raped, right? So if let's say I'm a lady and I go, do you know what? I don't want to keep the baby. I've been raped, so I'll get rid of it. How do you police it?
Mate, I can't fucking answer that question, and thank God we don't have to. I don't have to answer that question because it's mate, like with everything, policing things is practically impossible, isn't it? There's always people that will play the system.
But you said it a case by case basis.
But what I'm saying is, for me, like I don't agree with it, and I don't disagree with it. Life should be given, but I think there are cases where you can go, do you know what? I understand why you've done it. Like,
do you also agree though that there should be a sort? Because in America it's slightly different. There's some places where you can abort up until the birth, or you used to be able to up until today.
Finish cut off.
Yeah, I mean, so in Texas last year in Texas they changed the abortion laws to say that. Once there's a heartbeat, so a heartbeat is generally detected at around 6 weeks, then that's a life. That's what the Texas state said. I mean, 6 weeks is early.
Some people don't even know.
So what do you? So if you were to say abortions are cool, not cool, but you're happy. You're happy.
Wrong phrase to use.
Yeah, I know. But where's the cutoff?
Brain function.
So what's that then?
I don't know. I think maybe when there's some sort of I don't what.
So I'm just looking here. So when they develop a brain, they're in the 3rd week of gestation.
Well, I mean, brain function in the maybe when I don't know at what point is a fetus aware?
So yeah, if your fetus begins developing a brain around 5 weeks, up until around 7 weeks.
At what point does it become aware?
Well, are you ever aware in the?
I don't know.
In the
womb.
In the womb.
This is what I mean. It's such like I don't know, dude. Like, I really don't know. I'll be honest with you. My understanding, it's been 7 years since I was looking at gestation and how big, from a pinpoint to an angle.
What I found really interesting about this whole debate, right, is so the ruling today. So Roe versus Wade made a constitutional right for women to have an abortion. So you remember, this constitution that the Americans can't change. Remember the constitution. It's impossible to change, right? So Roe versus Wade changed the constitution to allow women to have an abortion. So you say, right, okay, fine, it's good. Change the constitution. This ruling effectively changes the constitution again, and it says actually we take that out of the constitution. It is not a constitutional right for women to have an abortion.
See,
but my point being is, well, they argue. So it's a Republican vote that have done this, right?
Yeah.
So the Republicans can say you can't take our guns because it's in our constitution and we can't change our constitution.
Yeah.
But then tomorrow we go, you can't kill those babies.
Yeah.
It's in our constitution.
The gun.
And we can take it out of the constitution. We can take it out of the constitution because that can't kill them. Do you see what I mean? Do you see that the hypocrisy, really?
Oh, mate, it's just streaming with hypocrisy. But do you know what? I bet if you said we can get rid of them, we can kill them with guns, they'd be like, put it back in, get it back in. Yeah, the problem is you're taking the rights away from women. Like, women now don't have the right what to do with their own body.
Well, they do. They don't have to have unprotected sex.
True. But they don't have the right after that happens. Because, people have unprotected sex and they're on the pill and they fall pregnant. There are all sorts of things. Fucking hell. Mary didn't even have sex when she fell pregnant. Like, what happens there? What is she?
Sort of how Leo was born, to be honest.
Carly got sex. But you're taking the right away. You're taking a woman's right away to do what she pleases with her body. What's next?
Again, I'm not making this argument. But the argument that they will make is it's just not just your body. Like you couldn't drive a car. This is probably a bad example, but you couldn't drive a car into a tree because you want to kill yourself. You've got passengers, right?
Well, you could,
but you shouldn't.
You shouldn't, but you could.
But you shouldn't.
But they're also conscious and aware.
Well, it depends if you've been out. They've been out and they've been on it and they're in the back seat.
Well, yeah.
I know what you're saying.
They've got thought. They've got memories. Find me one person who remembers being in the womb. They don't. And, there is a fine line.
Who remembers being a 2-year-old? Can we kill 2-year-olds?
No. But they're aware and they're out and they're breathing air. They're in the world in front of you. Like, there's a cut-off period. There has to be a cut-off period where it's that balance between conscious and not conscious. And I don't know that point. But when they start making action, doing things like sucking thumbs in the womb and all this sort of jazz, that's are you googling it now?
Just UK, like how
off is.
Yeah, what's the cut-off? So it's actually a lot later than I would say is reasonable. So 23 weeks and 6 days.
Out of, is it 40?
42, isn't it?
42. So it's just
pretty much halfway through.
And what size is a fetus at that age, at that time? It's been a long time since, like, you're a lot sooner. You never have in the old book and going, oh, you're the size of a peach's stone.
Well, here you go. So this is a 4-month fetus. Looks like a baby to me.
With a mushroom on its back. And an alien head. Babies.
Yeah.
Can we just agree here as well? Babies are ugly. When they're born and they're ugly.
Are they?
Yeah. Your own is never your own. No, fat.
Well, enough, I've never been at another birth.
No, you've seen someone that's gone and had a brand new baby, and you're like, "Oh, you're cute." Cute.
I thought my little lad was quite cute, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what your own children is. Yeah, it's fine. But, you go and pull up 100 pictures of, like, literally babies that are, like, 2 days old. They're all ugly. Please.
Yeah, so... So what we said, abortion, good or bad? How would you have voted today?
I'd have voted to allow it.
To allow them to abolish to
allow women to. So I would, whatever the vote would have been, to allow women to have the right to make that decision. That's why I would have voted, because it's a woman's body. It's they have to carry the baby. They're the ones that have to go through it all. Us guys don't. We get the. Let's be blunt here. We get the fucking easy deal.
Do we?
Yeah. On the pregnancy carrying a child side of things, we get the shit deal on the parenting side massively. Hence why we're here.
Swings and roundabouts.
The women have to go through the 9 months of the baby, the hell through labor, all of that sort of stuff, the emotional attachment and the physical attachment, that comes through it. I've been in 2 labours, mate. It was an absolute ride for me. It was easy. Not so much for my kid's mum. But on the flip side, we get the shit end of the deal with we don't have the rights like the mums do. A woman can abort a baby without even telling us.
I watched. I was watching Dave Chappelle talk about abortion.
No, can we get it up?
Huh?
Can you get it up on here?
Well, no, because we'll just get copyright striked.
Right.
But he basically says, we don't get. He's like, we don't get a say, whether you, even if you abort it or not. And he's like, but if you abort it, sorry, if I want you to abort it and you don't abort it, he said we shouldn't have to pay. That's your choice.
Things that I agree with, like that's a great statement. If I say don't have the baby and you have the baby, I shouldn't have to pay for the baby. I get that. I completely agree, because you're forcing my hand to support something for the next 18 years. If you want to get a cat and I don't want to get a cat and you get a cat, I don't have to pay for the cat if we split up. What, I agree with that massively. Do you know what I really think? One thing that really bugs me about all of this abortion shit, though, is if you want to abort, you've now got to go to a state that's allowing it to abort, walk past hundreds of people petitioning to abort. You've got to go in and you've got to go through a cycle of meetings and conversations and
I sort of agree. It shouldn't be easy.
No, it shouldn't be easy, but you shouldn't have to walk past people like petitioning and shit.
Well, it's people's. That's the First Amendment. People's right to free speech, to speak freely.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's their opinion. Like you just said, you don't force it upon others.
That's me. That's just me.
But we need to look at. I think it's just shit. It's a bit shit for them, isn't it? That you've got to go through all of that, and having people screaming stuff at you. I can't imagine everybody takes the abortion route lightly. There will be people that do it willy nilly, a form of contraception, idiots. But those people, I don't know. You're getting told that your child's going to be severely paralysed and it's going to have really not a life. It's not going to be able to communicate or anything. It's just going to be, just a shell of a human with no interaction, nothing. It's not a life for people, is it? And as a parent,
I don't know. It's not a life. You might think it's not a life for you, but I suppose it's all relative, isn't it?
Yeah.
That kid doesn't know any different.
I know. I know certainly if I ever became paralysed and I was mute and I couldn't do anything and I'm just sat there, I'd be like, smother me with a pillow fast. And I'd put it here now, mate, Marco, if that happens to me ever and I'm just sat there, smother me. You have the right. I give you permission.
Okay. I think there'll be a. I've got to join the back of the queue. I think.
Yeah, queue. I know that much for sure. My mum will probably be first in the queue as well.
Yeah. So yeah, you'd have voted up. Stick with it. Keep allow the babies to be killed. You'd have gone for that,
mate. Such a shit way of putting that.
I think I'd have gone down.
But again, people get in the comments. Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah.
Who's right.
So.
Happy news!
Yeah, happy news. Well, on the I read today that MP Andrei Gurilov of Russia's Parliamentary Defence Committee says, "Nuke London."
If you're going to do it, can you not nuke?
I have to agree. I don't like London. Take it. Listen,
nuke it. Don't nuke it.
If someone has to be sacrificial, I vote it to be London.
I'd certainly be happier with Old Trafford being nuked.
No, that's too close to home. Yeah, mate. Yeah, I saw that today. But just won't give it up. Just give it up.
Like, it's boring now, isn't it?
Mate, their army are really struggling in Ukraine. How the hell are they going to take on NATO?
I don't get. It's like you just struggle.
It's nonsense, mate.
A little heavyweight boxer struggling to beat somebody like I don't know.
Did you see the video? Did you see that video of that Thingy Francis, the former boxer that knocked out that the guy outside Box Park in the week.
The bouncer.
The bouncer.
Yeah, I did see that.
That gobbledygook guy is Russia, and the bouncer's NATO.
But it is, it's a heavyweight boxer going, I'm going to fight, I don't know, Derek Chisora, and struggling to but then going, but I'm going to take on Fury. I'm going to knock the fuck out of him. No, you ain't. You nuke. We would, like, NATO would wipe the floor.
Well, it's mutually assured destruction, in it. So if it was a land battle, they'd get their asses kicked. If it's nukes,
it's just pushing from a bunker.
Unfortunately, we're all doomed.
Fuck yeah! But why would you come out and say something like that? Because you're just escalating, and you just.
It almost feels a little bit like forgotten about over here as well. And then the Russians are a little bit like, we killed those English.
Yeah, don't forget about us. Tell them we're going to nuke them. Get us back.
He says, I quote, "We'll destroy the entire group of enemy space satellites during the first air operation." It's like, mate, you struggled to get air superiority over Ukraine. How are you going to get over space?
They're delusional. Like, serious, like, grandeurs of like, it's just insane. But yeah, let's be blunt, they're clearly insane anyway for what they're doing. But when does it end? At what point is this going to end?
Was it you that was telling me about that footballer that came out the other day?
What, for being gay?
No. There was a Russian footballer. He used to be the captain of Russia, and he tweeted a statement to say that he doesn't agree with the war. We shouldn't be in Ukraine. And he says in there, I'll probably be arrested for saying this, but I feel like I needed to stand up and say that we shouldn't be here.
Oh, what did I read? There was a player that has signed for Spartak Moscow now, and he's now out of. Is it a Polish player signed for Spartak Moscow, and he's now.
He's been kicked out of the Polish team.
I think something like that. Baller signs for.
Yeah, it's World War. I mean, I feel like
Poland defender Makai Rybus after transfer to Russian club Spartak Moscow. Poland will not consider defender Rybus for selection at this year's World Cup after he joined Russian club Spartak Moscow. Good.
I sort of feel like. And I could be wrong in a blaze of glory, but like I sort of feel like the threat of world war, is probably end. And I feel like, when it first kicked off and everyone was like a bit touchy, I feel like that was the time where I think if it was going to go, it was going to go. It was going to happen then.
Counting to three. If you don't get to your bed by the time we count to three, and then 3 10 times, and the kids are going like, "You ain't ever sending me to fucking bed when you get to 3, so shut up."
Yeah. But they love it on their state TV. They just love chatting shit, don't they?
Oh, but they're in it. They're living it, aren't they? They're living it whilst they're trying to take over Ukraine. So they want to antagonise it still. We hate Ukraine. We want to back this, don't we?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're bad for propaganda, aren't they? On the state channels.
Oh, great! Plus, we've discussed some really positive. We've got any positive things to discuss?
Something positive to talk about, mate. One sec. You did say to me that you wanted this to be finished before 9 o'clock, so you can get off and watch Love Island.
I am excited, mate. I love Love Island. I'm excited. We've got Tasha and Andrew at the Rocks at the moment.
Oh well, I'm going to the gym whilst you're watching Love Island,
and that's why one of us is fat and one is skinny.
Well, I wouldn't quite say I'm skinny.
Skinnier.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everything.
Come on, Martin, give us the update. What's happening? What's happening on Love Island?
So, Ekin-Su, everyone's favourite.
Yeah.
She's basically got pied by Jay. So she screwed Davide over, snuck around with Jay. Jay fed her some lines, realised that she's a bit of a dick, and went on, I fucked up choosing you. I'm interested in Paige. Ekin-Su kicked. Have you not watched it?
I'm going to pretend like I haven't watched it, but
All right. Ekin-Su sits there and she's like, oh, it's all right. And then goes and stews for 10 minutes and comes back and kicks off. And he's just like,
yeah, that did make me laugh when he went, oh, she's taking it really well.
And then you see Davy later go, he said she took it well, bro.
Yeah.
What she did. So she is just a dinlo, because now it's like, oh, I really like Charlie. He's really nice.
Paige and Jax definitely banged in the Hideaway. Definitely banged. Which is why she's getting so
catchy
about what he said.
Yeah, but I think he handled that well.
I thought he did, yeah.
Yeah, like, look, go and chat to him, because it's either going to show me that you want me, or it's going to show me that you don't. It's a good test, Whereas Ekin-Su, don't you be talking to nobody else. Only I'm allowed to do that. Get fucked, you creeping rat. I hate her, mate. Honestly, she's a beautiful lady. You can't knock it.
Oh, no, not for me.
She is what is wrong with women.
Not for me.
I'm excited for tonight because Andrew and Tash were doing really well. They were strong. Charlie even said
we talked about this. We talked about it when we did our cast review, which you can check out on the. We talked about this when we did the cast review, and I think we said her head will be turned by somebody that walks in, and literally the first guy that's come in.
But it's the fact that earlier in the show she's like, "No, I'm really happy with Andrew. We've got something special going on." Yeah. And then, I'm going to persevere. And he gets her in a hot tub, and her head turns. So, but I found out today that the contestants are told, they're like, maybe you guys should have your phones on you for when it's I've got a text.
I've got a text.
Yeah, they don't have their phones on them all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then the producer's like,
I mean, I'm not. Is anybody surprised that Love Island is made up?
Yeah.
Well, I heard from previous shows, contestants from previous shows, that they say, when they do their recoupling speech, that if the recoupling speech isn't good enough, they'll ask them to redo it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because and I've got a text now.
Yeah, I'm recoupling with this person because there's nobody else. Can we just repeat that, please?
Yeah. I'm coupling with a person because we've had such a connection. We've become best friends. Like,
the standard line is, because since I've been in here, shut up.
Yeah, like, it's just...
I have noticed, though, that they are bringing the age up, because all the people that are coming in are 27, 28, each one of them.
Yeah.
So he started off with quite a young cast.
Well, is that because they realised that the dramas with Ekin-Su?
What, the dramas with the more mature ones? Yeah,
for once. But maybe that's the case, But there's a recoupling tonight, and I am excited to see what happens, because I want to see Ekin-Su get. But But this Charlie guy clearly has gone. Ekin-Su's an easy target.
Huh.
She's fucking had a massive Barney with Jay.
Well, if you wanted to stay in, like, you'd just do what Jay did. You'd flut your eyelids at her, get picked.
Yeah. But this is the thing. She's like, you've led me on, you're an actor. Like, the guy's clearly now just turned around. Like, if he wanted to stay in there, he'd stay with her.
Mm-hmm. But I think the point was, now he's got the choice. So he needs to choose him.
But he doesn't have the choice.
He does. Tonight it's the boys picking.
Oh, is it the boys tonight, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I don't really watch it. So not that I know. Do you know what I mean?
Are you watching it on catch-up?
Probably, yeah.
So I'm 11 o'clock tonight when you've got in and caught up with it.
Yeah. Right, well, look, first live of the year.
Try and get most Fridays, shall we?
Yeah. Well, we were doing them like last year, and they started to pick up, and we started to get quite a lot of people watching it weekly, but we dropped it. We stopped doing it. So
we dropped the ball.
Yeah.
But that's life, though, isn't it? What people don't realise is that these podcasts take up a chunk of time.
100%.
And we're both family men. Well, you're in a complete family. I'm half a family. So it's, you know, it's trying to work around life and business. You know, you run your own businesses. I work. So, but we're passionate about this. Let's get back in it.
All right.
Well, like, share, tag, spread the word, follow. Any other? I mean,
just do that.
Yeah, it's a bit sexy when I do it, though, isn't it?
Oh, okay. What
are we missing?
What's that?
A jingle.
A jingle?
Yeah. Just